Welcome back everyone. In this video we're going to discuss cube and cube roots. Here we will be discussing how to find the cube root of any number and how to change a non-perfect cube root into a perfect cube root. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get started. Now finding cube root is very similar to square roots. Okay, so if you remember, for square roots we had to first prime factorize the number. So even here we will prime factorize it. Okay, but instead of making a group of 2 as in the squares, we will make a group of 3. That is the only difference. So let's see the first question. Example number 1, 1000. So you have to find the cube root of 1000. So 1000, if you prime factorize, you get this. Okay, I hope by now you know how to prime factorize very nicely. So if you prime factorize, you get 222555, and if you make a group of 3, this will come under one group, this will come under one group. So this is one group, this is one group, this is nothing but 2 cube, this is nothing but 5 cube. Now when it comes out of the cube, it will simply be 2 cube will become 2, 5 cube will become 5. So 2 5s are 10. Also remember the point of difference. Square root is written like this. Okay, there are no numbers here, but for cube root you can't simply write this, because then there will be no difference between square root and cube root. So just to indicate that this is a cube root, we write 3 here. Okay, 3 indicating the power. Now this number is called a perfect cube root. Why? Because we could find a group, okay, which consists of 3 numbers. Please note that here while grouping there was no number that was left out. Alright, that means each and every number belong to one or the other group. When this happens, we say that the number is a perfect cube root. Okay, so this number is a perfect cube root. Let us look at one example which is not a perfect cube root. So 432, if you prime factorize 432, you get this and this to be in one group. You see 2 cannot be in this group, okay, because the group has to consist of only 3 numbers. So if you bring 2 here, it will become 4, which is not allowed. This 2 cannot come here because the group has to be of same numbers. So we see that this 2 is left out. Okay, this 2 is left out. So this is not a perfect cube root. Okay, so this will become one group, so it will become 2 cube. This is second group, so 3 cube. This 2 is left out, so it will be this. Now obviously this 2 can come out because it has a power of 3, which matches with this. This 3 also will come out, so you'll get 2 into 3, but this 2 cannot come out. Alright, it won't come out, so you will have 2 still inside the cube root. So 2 3s are 6, and this 2 under cube root. Let us see one more question. So cube root of 500. Cube root of 500 means if you prime factorize, you get this and this. Now this is one group. Again, these two numbers cannot be added in this group because of obvious reasons. So this 2 has to be alone. So you will get 2 square into 5 cube. 2 square because there is only 2, right? It's a pair. So 5 can come out, but 2 cannot come out because these two powers are not matching. So it will remain as 2 square. This brings us to a very important topic. How do you convert the non-perfect cube root to perfect cube root? Before we discuss the conversion, let us first discuss the root cause of these numbers being not a perfect cube root. The root cause is basically these numbers, right? These numbers that cannot be formed into a group. So there are two ways of doing this. Either remove these numbers completely or add the required amount of numbers such that they can be under one group. Alright, so in this case this is 2. Okay, so what we can do is we can either remove this 2 or add another 2 2's such that this can be brought into this group. Similarly for 500, these 2 are the root cause. So either you remove these 2's or you add one more 2 such that they belong to this group. Now how do we do that? 500 is nothing but 2 into 2 into 5 cube. Now to make this a group of 3, let us multiply this by 2. If you multiply this by 2, we also have to multiply this by 2. Okay, so now this has become a group, but the problem is this number has changed. 500 into 2 is 1000. Okay, so 1000 is a perfect cube root. So we have converted a non-perfect cube root into a perfect cube root by simply multiplying by 2. We can also do this. So we have 2 into 2 into 5 cube. We can also remove these 2. So in order to remove this 2, we will divide by 2 into 2, so that these 2 will get cancelled and you'll be left with only 5 cube. But if you divide here by 2 into 2, we have to divide this number also by 2 into 2. So 500 divided by 2 into 2 is nothing but, this will get cancelled and you'll get 250, and this will get cancelled and you'll get 125. It will simply become 125. We'll be discussing some numericals to understand this concept better. Let's see one question shown on the left hand side of your screen. State which of the following are perfect cubes using the method of prime factorization. So the first one is 23328. Okay, so obviously if you prime factorize, this is what you will get. Let's form a group of 3. So this is one group, 2 group, 3 group. We see that these 2 are out, so here only we can say that it is not a perfect cube root. Okay, if you want to solve, you may solve. So this is what you'll get. So 2 into 3 into 3, everything cubed, into 2 square. Now this cannot come out, only these can come out. So 2 into 3 into 3, this will remain inside. 2 into 3 is 6, 6 3 is 18, and this will remain inside. 2 square is 4, so you get 18 cube root of 4. So we see that this cannot be solved, so it is not a perfect cube root. Let's see the second type of question shown on the left hand side of your screen. Find the smallest number that must be multiplied with the number to make it a perfect cube. Okay, so the number is 5400. So let's find the cube root of 5400. Before that, let's prime factorize it. So if you prime factorize, this is the sequence of numbers that you'll get. We know that this will be in one group, this will be in one group, and these 2 will be alone, that is in no group, right? So we know that if you want them to be in a group, there must be one more 5. Okay, because if you look at this part, then these 2 5s will not be able to come out of the cube root because they need one more 5. So what can we do? We can simply multiply this whole number by 5 as discussed before. This will become a perfect cube if we multiply the number by 5. Therefore, the smallest number to be multiplied is 5. It's as easy as that. Please note that you don't have to do this part. This part is just for the explanation. You'll have to prime factorize it and you'll have to mention these lines. Let us do one more question. What is the smallest number that must divide the number so that the number becomes a perfect square, perfect cube, sorry. So this is your number 370400. We know that first we'll have to prime factorize. So if you prime factorize, this is what you get. Now this belongs to one group, this belongs to one group, and this belongs to one group. We see that this is extra. Alright, now since here we have to divide, that means we'll have to remove. So it is better to remove this 5. Okay, so this number will become a perfect cube if we divide the number by 5, because if you divide the number by 5, this 5 will disappear. Okay, therefore the smallest number that the number must be divided by is 5. With this, we conclude our of cube and cube roots. Please practice as many questions as possible. If you have any doubts, drop it in the comment box. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, everyone.